Okay, we're doing this. Hi, Elki.
Hi, Natalie.
How are you?
I'm great.
Yeah, you are. I'm so happy
Yeah.
that we're doing this. There's so much that we have to learn from you, and so much that other entrepreneurs can learn from your journey and from your experience. And I'm so excited to go through those few questions with you, and so that you're taking the time to answer. Thank you very much, Elki.
Oh, my pleasure.
You're welcome. So, what is the goal of this interview? Let's talk about the points that we're going to address in this interview, because you have
Okay.
a very special journey, and you went through a lot, especially this past year. And I wanted us to talk about what happened in your transformation going through the program, working with me, and we're going to talk about a few things. Some of them are going to be how important it is to include morning routines, high performance habits in your business, because I know you've been implementing
Oh,
this, and we're
so important.
we're going to talk about that.
So, yeah.
We're going to talk also about how important it is to have the right mindset, right? I think that one of the big things that you discovered was working with the right mindset, having an entrepreneur's mindset, and we're going to talk about that. And we're also going to talk about how you went through this year, which was also the year with COVID, and reinventing yourself in your business, and how you can be really inspiring to other people to reinvent themselves in their business. So I think those are points that we're going to address.
Great.
I think amazing.
Great.
So let's start by introducing yourself. Can you tell us who you are, what you do, what is your business?
Okay. So my name is Elki Jacobs. I'm an event designer. I I've been for almost 30 years in this business. Previously, I was an actress in the theater, in the National Theater, different theaters here in this country. Originally came here because of my husband, who was a director. We met in London and trained in the theater, and ended up moving here in the big pivot of all times, starting from the absolute beginning in Beersheba in 1979. So that's that's the history, and eventually having an opportunity which came to me and starting this business. So it's today I work in this country and I work out of the country, and I'm an entrepreneur in event design here.
Yes, you are definitely. Wow, amazing. So, we're going to talk about your journey, not only the past year, not only through COVID, but also through working with me and in the Born to Do business program, because it just so happens that it happened in the same year. And we were having this discussion about your transformation, right? Where you were almost a year ago, what transformation you went through, and who you are today. And so, if it's okay with you, I would like to first start with where were you a year ago before the transformation? Can you share that with us?
Well, before the transformation of starting to work together.
Yes.
Well, I think that I had a lot of challenges. I didn't feel technically savvy in terms of when I started this program, and I started listening to all of the opportunities and the subjects and the lectures, and I'm going, oh my God, this is really far away from me. I have so much to learn. And it was a little bit scary, actually, getting into all of this and realizing how much I didn't know. And I also became aware of, in a way, how dependent I am on others within my own business, and things like postponing what's what's on the list of things. I'd put the thing that's most challenging last, instead of what we've learned is eating the frog and actually putting that first, and dealing with that. That was just sort of very it was all major
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, that's really where you were like almost a year ago. And so what happened? What is the transformation that you went through during that year? Can you share that with us?
Well, I decided to commit myself. There was I don't know, somebody told me about the opportunity of the challenge. I said, yeah, why not? And every morning I would get up and I committed myself to learning, to listening, to open my mind, to way to make a fool out of myself. Because after all, I'm, a leading designer here in this country. Shouldn't I know all of this? Shouldn't I know more about my financial situation? Shouldn't I be much more? And I basically felt like I backtracked. I sort of committed myself to being in a learning process and filling in a lot of holes that I had along the way, facing my fears. And was really stepping outside of my comfort zone. And this was a real emotional process to go through. But I think the main thing was committing and arriving and realizing there's just, there's so much to learn and to get into. So that's
Yeah.
basically what happened there.
Yeah, you really went out of your comfort zone, and you were ready also to let go of your ego. I think that this was something huge also, to be able to let go of your ego, because you are one, if not the, best event designer in Israel, and you had built this huge company, and you were now going back to basically learning things that sounded basic for some others, but for you, they were new. And you, with this decision of learning and deciding to commit yourself, this was the best thing that you could ever do for yourself, right? This is, yeah.
Absolutely.
And so,
And
what is
people,
the, yeah,
yeah.
please.
No, people would continually say to me, I can't believe you're doing this.
Right.
You're committing yourself to this. Wow. I mean, it was tremendous amount of respect I had from colleagues and other people of saying, no, I don't know this. I want to know more about this. I don't know this. I want to know more. I really want to learn. It's never too late to learn. I mean, I could be sitting on my laurels and say, wow, I arrived to what I arrived without knowing all of this. But this feeling of self-improvement and empowering and the sense of freedom that comes with it all it's just a major transformation that I feel in this year. That's basically true.
Yeah, definitely. And so what is today the result of this transformation, of all this work, of all this learning, of all this, deciding to commit to this process? What is the result today?
I feel lighter. I feel more empowered. I feel more focused. I feel like I am the CEO of my own business, which is what I should have been always. But there were some loopholes, and I really feel in command of what's going on. I know better how to delegate. I know better how to divide and rule. There are just so many aspects of this centering force, of letting go of what's not important, of concentrating on what is, on prioritizing, on not being so hard on myself and so critical. Actually looking at my daily accomplishments every day and being grateful, being very, very grateful. I've always said I'm grateful to love what I do and to get up in the morning and to be passionate about. And I do believe you're only really good. You're only really good at what you do when you love what you do and when you're passionate about what you do. There's no question about it. And that has become even stronger. And to be part of a community. I was never part of a community in a way. You can actually get feedback and you can actually discuss things. And some people know more about aspects than you do, and you know more about other aspects of business than they do. And there's a definite feeling of community. And
wow.
just being much more aware just being much more aware. I became, I just feel lighter and freer and ready to go to the next step. I do.
Wow, that's amazing. It sounds
Mhm.
like you really became like another person, like
I did.
an
I
improved
did.
version. Yeah.
I did. And I cannot tell you how much feedback I get about it. It's not just me who feels it. Everybody who are in my circle or working or friends or family, they definitely feel it.
That's what happens when you go through a transformation. That's what
Mhm.
happens, definitely. And so the past year was not only the year that you went through this transformation in the program, but it was also the year 2020 that everyone is going to remember as the COVID year. And working in the events industry, we all know what happened to the events industry, right? It stopped, it was closed. And so for many months, you didn't have work, you didn't have, any events to organize or even to design. So this was a big challenge last year.
Mhm.
How did you overcome it? What was your secret to overcome this challenge for you?
There are a couple of things. I mean, I think that the idea that there was quiet. I mean, there's always noise around me, and I've always felt very comfortable in this situation where there's buzz and all of this. Suddenly, it was quiet. Suddenly, it was really up to me what happens next. And so therefore I have to be in a good state of mind, and I have to be in a focused state of mind. I have to be well physically. So the whole idea, which I will could do advertisements for, is the 14-day challenge, which is what happened, where this organization of getting up in the morning, of exercising every day, of eating well. And it's true, when you do one thing good, you end up doing a lot of other things. So once I started exercising, I ate well, and I did the reading, and I did the journaling, and I gave myself the opportunity to be quiet and rethink and meditate. So I think that that was a tremendous value. That the next thing was, what next? What do I do in this particular period? So it actually, look, the first thing it came to me, I didn't market it in any way or put it out there that I want to do small events, but people came to me, can I do a small event of 25 or 26 by the rules of the COVID? And I ended up doing these small events. And then I realized, wow, I have a huge storage space, and I have the ability to do luxury events for 25. I can give these conceptual boutique events for very small amount of people. So it started to go, and I realized I really enjoy it. I really, really enjoy it. Now I do, and I'm well known for doing events of thousands, and that has its, joy in itself. But suddenly I said, you know what, no matter what, I want to continue. I discovered this in the time of the COVID. I want to continue. So it's something that I want to market and to put out there. Small boutique events, all of what I have and what I'm known for, I can do on a very, very small scale.
Wow. That is really impressive because so many other people could have let either ego or not flexible say, no, I'm only doing big events, or I'm not gonna, go to smaller than that. And you were flexible enough and you were open enough to reinvent yourself and to basically offer the people what they needed, and to use your expertise and your talents and your gifts to serve those people. So that is such a great lesson because that's basically what it is to be in business, right? It's to
But to
reply to
reinvent,
the demand. Yeah,
constantly to understand the meaning of the time, and to listen and to put everything aside, and to see how I grow, how I take this and reinvent within what I'm doing.
of course, of course.
Yeah,
And
right.
so the last question that I want to ask you, because I'm sure that the people that are listening, there's so much that they can learn from you, but I would like you to choose one advice that if you had to give an advice to entrepreneurs, what would you tell them? What would you tell them that is the things that could help them succeed?
Well, I think is the power of dreaming high, to allow yourself to dream, because the sky's the limit. The truth of the matter is, it is. And that would be the most important thing, not to stop yourself from allowing yourself to dream. And then when you start to build a team that is for everybody to build clear roles for the people who are working with you, for them to really understand what their responsibility is, where it begins and where it ends. And I believe that what I have gotten, and I haven't learned it all, and I'm in the process and will continue working with you on this, is that systems are so important. And I think that when you have the systems intact, you have the backbone to fly. So I think that's those three things are very important, what I've gotten in this past year.
Wow, amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your experience
Thank
and
you,
your
Natalie, for
expertise.
this blessing of a year, and that let the 2021 just continue with the knowledge for all of us of how to make the most out of ourselves, you know.
Yes, yes,
Be the best
exactly,
version of
exactly.
ourselves. That's the truth.
Exactly. That's what we want. Exactly. Because whatever happened in 2020, we did learn and we did become, we did improve. And you've certainly went on a journey and a transformation. And I thank you for sharing it with me, with everyone who's listening to this
Thank you.
interview. And we will
And
definitely.
I want to thank you again for all that you give, and for this incredible community, international community that you've created. It's incredible.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thanks,
Elki.
Natalie.
Thank you very much.